Hello, beautiful person watching this. I am so happy that you're here. Welcome back to another Slay the Spire Ascension 20 Defect run. On this channel, I upload my recorded wins with some commentary and general discussion about this beautiful game that we play. Having a look here. Only 3 elite path, looks like the left side where the first elite is before a campfire, and there's super elite involved. Looks very dangerous, so probably gonna go right here. And I decided to choose rare for all of my money, and we receive Hyper Beam, Rainbow, and All for One. Kind of some stinkers, broadly speaking, on floor 0. But decided to take the All for One and try to go for the claw thing and see what we can do. Make the dream work. Jawworms here to ruin our day on floor 1. All for One is not lethal, but that's fine. Can full block. And when to floor 1, find our first claw. So off to the races already. We've officially won the run. Huge. Take the Golden Idol for max health, of course. Taking the damage is very sus. Rip the dual cast, hopefully it hits the same thing twice. It doesn't, so I can double defend to take 5 instead. Find a liquid bronze, and would love to take a skim, but there's a cold snap, our first frost orb, and a nice kind of strike with a benefit card for killing Gremlin Knob, of course. Now we find the living wall event, do the transform and hit defrag. Definitely happy about that. And of course, the focus's main usefulness is blocking more with frost orbs so that we can claw our way to victory. And genetic algorithm is here a bit early, I take it. Considering only 2 elites this path and already feeling a little bit strong with a defrag in our deck. And the All for One Claw potential combo. Hopefully can make it through while also taking the card that only blocks for 1. Consider skipping the elite, but with 2 campfires afterwards especially, definitely no need to worry. It is Gremlin Knob, very sad. So hopefully we can get to there. Did find the defrag plus on turn 1 and a zap, so that's very nice. Doing... Eventually that 2-card combo is hitting for 15 damage by itself over 3 turns. Doesn't sound very good when I say it like that, but it also makes the other orbs better as well, of course. And I considered using liquid bronze. This is going to be very tight. And so the 6 damage that was always happening because of liquid bronze could have mattered. And here we barely get there, dealing 2 damage of overkill. So it could have mattered, but didn't matter indeed. Found the boot. Actually a little bit better than usual here, making our any unblocked attack damage we do that's less than 5 will get increased to 5. So the first claw will deal more, and the go for the eyes we just picked will also deal more. And the go for the eyes, of course, comboing with All for One, and made a mistake there, play All for One instead of 2 strikes. When All for One isn't getting any cards back, it's worse than 2 strikes, as it turns out. Debatably a mistake here also, could have just gone defend cold snap instead of playing defrag, or even just play defend instead of the frost orb. Would have at least gave me 1 more block then. No big deal, took 2 extra damage or something. And Turbo is here, another 0-cost card. It's a little early for it. Don't have any draw yet, really, but it'll be nice. Basically makes All for One free, in some sense. And I rest here just in case. A little bit of a granny. Especially since this elite couldn't be Laga. And we did upgrade a zap as well. makes it cost 0, so we can get it back with our all for one. I'm gonna rip the fire pot here on the right one to avoid getting these dazes in my deck, since I was probably going to use it here no matter what. Possibly a mistake. Huge boot value here. And sadly reshuffling right when we draw our all for one, so couldn't get our claw or zap back. Make sure I play the genetic algorithm while I can, make it bigger number, and find a thread needle. That's really good, giving us 4 plated armor at the start of each combat. And forgot to mention forgot to mention Centennial Puzzle, giving us 3 draw every time we take damage for the first time each combat. Pretty good relic. Defect tends to have a bit of a tough time on turn 1, so you kind of do what you can, and then it makes our turn 2 much stronger. If we take damage, then we'll pretty much be good to go after that. Just doing too much card draw, so many options. But with this thread needle, it's actually very, very, very good in this situation. Love some supplemental block. Play a dual cast. Probably a mistake. There was a chance that dual cast double hit the Jawworm there, and then I would have had to double strike the Lice. So I could have played dual cast first there, see what happened. Didn't get punished. A bit of an order lull there. Didn't even take damage. And another Cold Snaps here. We have Defrag Plus already. That seems pretty good. And I decided to go right after the Elites instead of taking the Campfire, valuing card rewards over an upgrade here. I want to see more cards, more claws. And the boot is actually going to be cooking here. I actually made a mistake here. Didn't remember that I had the boot. And I double 0 cost attack on this Gray Slime. But could have done 5 to another enemy instead. Doesn't even matter though. Still not taking any damage. Very happy about that. Another defrag is here, rewarded. We're taking more card rewards. Could have clicked recycle as well, would have been pretty good, but recycle not quite at its best yet before we have any way to draw cards and whatnot. And this is about to be the easiest Guardian you've ever seen. There's some chance I won't be able to split on this turn, but if I couldn't and I took this damage, it would be the only damage I took the whole fight, for sure. We can split pretty comfortably. And we still have some Frost Orbs in the deck. Play our second defrag, play Cold Snap, and then block from the Cold Snap, plus the plated armor will definitely get us over the top there. Bronze Scales is also generally a good potion in this fight, but that's only if you need it, really. Sadly, all for one at the very bottom here, can't play it and get my cards back. How sad. And I end my turn there. Strike does 6 and Lightning Orb does 7, and only one of them would be able to deal damage because of the block it gains as soon as you split. Squeezing out an extra 1 there. Counting my block, that's 16 block, so as long as I am at 0 block, I will be full blocking, conveniently. And we did it. And there's a Meteor Strike when we have a Turbo in our deck already. It's a little bit inconsistent, but we'll get better eventually. But not as interested in removing all of my Frost Orbs in this run. Take a Fission. which does remove your Frost Orbs, but it also draws you so many cards that you can usually remake them. Totally fine. And take an Astrolabe, which is an excellent relic. Get rid of 3 strikes as the defect. And we find Glacier Plus and Chill Plus, which are very solid Frost Orb generators, and a Creative AI Plus, which tends to be a bit slow, unfortunately. We already have 2 Defrag Pluses, so we're not in much need of scaling at this point, as well as doing the Claw thing, which also is kind of just scaling. So as beautiful and shiny as that Creative AI looks, it's actually pretty bad. So slow. But it's fun. The word AI has really been tarnished the last couple years. And here's a good example of a nice big pop-off turn we can have here. Zap and go for the Eye still in my draw pile. I'd love to find them with this Fission. Oh, you whiff. And Defrag still in there, very sad. Anybody finds us a Static Discharge. Not going to be doing a lot here. Play it just to get it out of my deck. Slowly but surely getting there on Avocado. Definitely could have played Hello World there. I'm a huge Hello World hater myself, but it would have been fine there, of course. And our second claw is here. And 2 claw is just the right amount of claws, I would say. And get a curse on our first hit, that's very sad. Almost got normality to there, but we dodged it. There's Biased Cog, and I find Compile Driver, and I really want Compile Driver, but I click the wrong card. Very sad, so I just go for the Compile Driver again. That's a big oof. Could have been a Biased Cog in that next reward. We'll never know. Play the algorithm just so it gets played. I'm not convinced I'll be going all the way back around to find it again. This deck blocks, to be sure. And this All for One's essentially free. We have Turbo in there. Pretty huge turn. Can't quite kill though. And we managed a full block. And Bean Cell is here for our 0-cost attack claw deck. Very cool. Actually getting the kill here is pretty wild on that Cultist there. Taking 1 billion damage here. Defrag. Goes up to 12, 16 block. I could play Zap here to block for a bit more, but didn't want to shuffle another Daze in, it seems. Creative AI is not cooking right now. We have 18 plus 3 block. So play defend, go up to 26. Considered playing Electro here, but happy to keep the Frost Orbs around and just play Claws. Good damage here. Algorithm was still in there somehow. Very cool. I like to play Lightning Orb. Yeah. And I can play this buffer. It's definitely worth playing for 1 days. Blocking a lot of damage potentially. He'd be dead here. Finally killing the Chosen. Minus Neko Pot. Our potions look better than that. And there's a boot sequence, which could be fine. I don't think I take it though. Making our turn 1 a little bit worse, arguably, or also already have a Chill Plus, which is always starting there. And take a Flash of Steel, very cool. Another 0-cost attack for our Claw deck. Could have taken a 3rd Claw, but it's getting a little bit silly there. We're going to get to the point where All for One is getting back so many cards that it's too many cards, we won't be able to get all of them back. So playing like Claw, getting back 2 more Claws, that's plenty of Claws. I'd like to have some other good 0-cost cards in there. Bit of a toolbox. Go for the Eyes, not getting brought back when we need the Weaken would be bad, for example. Gonna get 3 elites here. Gremlin leader. Probably should just rip the explosive pod right away here. But I went for it here. And then doesn't really matter playing the chill early because always going to be the same result here. Not needing the extra block from the 1 more Frost Orb. Now it has like a 50% chance to hit us, I think. And it does. Bit scary. And now I want to block for 12 by killing the Mad Gremlin. Like in Explosive Pot. Beam Cell Claw, then double defrag. Block for a lot. Proxentingo Puzzle. Claw is still in there, sadly. Oh, so I evoke an orb here. So I only have 2 orbs. Then I can draw with Fission. So that I don't reshuffle. I can play a Claw, then All for One. And then get it back. And I didn't even get it back. Too many cards. So that is the problem. I can even put Creative AI in play, yep. Sure. Sadly getting an Echo Form on a very pressing turn. Can't play that right now. Both Claws still in there. Can't kill the second one either. Bit of a shame. It's hitting me again. But I might be able to get lethal here. Play both Claws, then Compile Driver. Didn't find it. Found it. Good Lightning Orb. And Auric Alchemist here. Whenever we end our turn with no block, we will gain 6 block. Works pretty well with our Plated Armor and our Frost Orbs. Very cool. And we have a Steam Barrier here. Steam Barrier, in theory, good with the All for One thing, but it's just not quite doing enough. We already have so many 0-cost things that are good. And seem to be doing a lot of attacks for our Beam Cell. Yeah, we already have so much block anyway, and we just found Auric Alchem, so Steam Barrier arguably doesn't even do anything. Because all we would do is break Auric Alchem by playing it, in theory. Sometimes. And here we're blocking for 22, so all we have to do is play just like a Zap here, and evoke one of the Frost Orbs, and we're full blocking. Could also choose to play Fission here, but that would be kind of questionable, being Revolver block. Fission is a nice like accelerator just in case you will need to find some cards, but if you're already comfortably blocking for enough, no need to evoke all your orbs. Or remove all your orbs, rather, in unupgraded case. I'm an Echo Form, so I get to double play my Genic Algorithm there. Getting a bit of a taste of the Echo Form power already. Another Echo Form. Definitely too slow. Snake Plant. And Machine Learning is here, but not interested in that. Machine Learning is very slow, sadly. You have to waste a card draw to put it in play, just to draw one extra card next turn, so it's like, doesn't even break even until one turn later. Then, it's just not quite good enough, generally speaking. And find a Capacitor, that's very good. More orb slots for our Frost Orbs. And another Glacier is great to fill our now plentiful orb slots. And find a Shuriken. Whenever we play 3 attacks in a turn, gain 1 strength. And this may spark a little bit of a discussion about Shuriken and what it means for a relic to be good. It might seem insane here, but the reality is that whenever we play a Claw, we're kind of gaining 2 strength just each Claw play, if you think about it. And then by the time we played enough attacks that it even matters how much strength we have, the enemies are going to be dead anyway. So, despite the fact that it actually seems very, very good here, that Shuriken is pretty unimpactful, and I'd like you to have a look and see, you know, whenever I'm popping off with a Shuriken, ask yourself, did the Shuriken actually matter? And that can be a helpful sort of insight into evaluating relics. A bit of a woof here, I got rid of all my Frost Orbs and found double defrag with no other way to make orbs. Very sad. I can still block for 10. Orc Alchemist, Plated Armor. But that was rough. Didn't find Algorithm, didn't find Glacier, didn't find Cold Snap. Definitely, arguably a mistake, though, to even play it at all, of course. Bit of a rough turn earlier, but it's making it through this fight pretty comfortably now. And find our second Glacier, so never taking damage again. The Echo Form in play, sure. Find oddly smooth stone, giving us 1 dexterity in each combat, and we find a bias cog. And consider taking hologram over it. There's some very cool, like, play all of your 0-cost cards, play all for 1, play them all again, hologram the all for 1, play them all again. It could have been better with 2 copies of Defrag Plus already, of course, but would have felt very stupid if I didn't click bias cog and it didn't work out. We're already doing the cool claw thing, no need to make it even more spicy, I suppose. But I wish I could take both of those cards, for sure. And of course, hologram is a common, so we might find another one later anyway. Not getting hit here, so could play a Creative AF I want, but instead I just get a Shuriken proc, make more Frost Orbs, do more damage. Pretty wild, even on a turn where we are getting hit, or not getting hit at all. A fully free turn to play it. It's still not worth playing over other cards. This fight, though, of course, is not a long fight, necessarily. Creative AI shines against the really long fights, like the Champ. Creative AI beats the Champ by itself. Which is great and all, but definitely not the case that you should be taking Creative AI just to kill Champ unless you absolutely have to. And this deck could have gotten there against Champ by other means for sure. pretty quickly getting to the point where we cannot take damage, even on the execute turn. And look how much damage we're doing. Did my 5 strength matter there? Really makes you think. Ortalcum huge there, blocking for 6 for real, for real. Can't find any focus, sadly. Taking a bit of damage here. There's some focus. There's a bias cog as well. We'll probably get away with playing that already. Could even fission, I suppose. Like loop, defend, fission or something. Cold snap slime. And all for one's gonna be pretty good here. Just getting cards out of my hand. My god, it's beautiful. Pretty good fight. And we find Bottled Tornado and Heat Sinks, and this is why you don't just click relics, by the way. Click, 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 click. Gotta definitely look at your card reward, evaluate what's going on before actually clicking the relic. And in that case, we found a Heat Sinks, and that's a great power to bottle, getting it in play before all of our other powers, allowing us to draw cards every time we play a power. Very cool. And of course, the bottle allowing it to start in our opening hand every combat. It becomes innate. Could play Defrag, but might as well just play the Glacier since I'm already full blocking. And perhaps if I find an Echo Form off of Creative AI and double it eventually or something. A little bit ambitious, of course, but it's possible. And here, I mean, we could just literally click cards. This is one of those sort of decks that Champ just has absolutely no chance of beating at all. Too much scaling in every which way. Claws scale, Shuriken scales, Creative AI scales, Defrag scales. And then we can even save the biased cog for when it's splitting to ensure that we have maximum power for that phase. If it even gets to hit us after splitting, which it probably won't. Choosing not to play Zap. I suppose I just didn't want to split too prematurely, letting the Claws and the Creative AI do their thing. Now we're blocking for so much. Another bias cog is here. Doing quite a lot of thinking for no reason at all. This next turn, I'm going to have exactly 0 cards in my draw pile, so I can get the whole suite from All for One here. It's beautiful. Look at those claws, dude. 37. My god. Still a genetic algorithm in my deck. Never played it for some reason. Glad I found that again. Can we deal 40 damage? Yes. And we find a real Echo Form or a Seek, both very good. But now that we have this Heat Sinks plus in our deck, I think we can just take the Echo Form and then just draw our whole deck, play turbos. And Nuclear Battery looks really good here. That one big pop-off turn where we draw our whole deck, put all of our powers into play, will be very, very important. And the fact that the battery can evoke for 2 more energy that turn is actually arguably better than just 1 energy each turn consistently. Sometimes you'd prefer to have the energy every turn, sometimes the fact that the orb exists and is evocable actually is of an upside. And it even gives you an extra orb for something like Compile Driver as well, and Fission. So there's quite a few ways that the battery can actually be better than a 4th energy relic. And the 4th energy relics always have some drawback attached to them as well. And here we go. We are cooking. Already full blocking, could choose to play Algorithm instead of like more Glaciers. But Glacier makes Frost Orbs for next turn. In hindsight, I would have played Glacier over that. Get another Frost Orb, because this turn could be brutal. And indeed, it looks pretty rough. Should play... oh no, I wanted to draw cards. Echo Form means I play that first, of course. Definitely should have played Beam Cell before the Claws, though. Wasn't sure what I was doing, I suppose. Still got there. And to defend inconsequential there. I have Auric Alchemist, so it actually didn't do anything. Normally you'd actually be losing 1 block by doing that, but I have the Oddly Smooth Stone as well. So just the same thing. Blocking for 36, plus 6, plus 4, 46. Without playing a single block card. Pretty crazy. This deck is doing the Defect thing, to be sure. Could have played a Zap there. No reason not to play Zap. Pretty good fight. Another turbos here, and any amount of turbos now we're really into, because we can just draw our whole deck with heat sinks, and every turbo we hit will just be so much more gas. And another defrag is here in the shop. Definitely interested in that. And we're going to want to upgrade that, to be sure. Getting a little heavy on the upgrade, what are they called? Cards that demand upgrades, I suppose. Defrag, so much better when you upgrade it. And the Bias Cog also getting another focus as well. We'd love to upgrade both those cards, so it can be a bit tough as Defect when you already have several cards in your deck that you want to be upgrading, and then you take more of them. It can actually suddenly get a little bit awkward. You're like, oh god, I have all these unupgraded powers that aren't doing anything. And it's those sort of situations where if you already have 3 upgrades in the batting cage, then you might not want to take like a Loop or something like that. Loop is pretty underwhelming unupgraded. Loop is rather good against the Heart though, giving you that block before playing any cards for the Beat of Death. I think Loop is... like, if the Heart fight didn't exist, Loop would be pretty unimportant overall. Big double zap there, getting us there very comfortably. Zap our only way to make lightning orbs. We're fully into the damage thing here. The claws and whatnot. Definitely don't need to make lightning orbs. And Loop is here. And Loop, as I was just talking about, is a fine card. I'm looking at like how many upgrades I have and all that. At this point, with the amount of focus I already have, it might just be better to upgrade the Loop over a defrag. Definitely a consideration. And I have Biased Cognition, so really want an Ancient Potion. It would prevent the Focus minus debuff in any fight of my choosing, so we'd love to keep both of these potions for the Heart. That'd be great. A little bit early on the Biased Cog there, sadly, but had to draw the cards with the heat sinks there, so just gonna deal with it. Creative AI can kind of uniquely offset the focus debuff sometimes. The amount of scaling it gives can possibly outscale the focus minus debuff, which is pretty wild. It's very slow. But when you played a card that's so fast with a huge downside, like Biased Cog, then a slow scaling card can kind of offset that. Could just pass. Could have kept going there with turbo into more cards, but if I pass and redraw this defrag, then could double play it, which would be very nice. And have to do an attack here. So unblocked attack damage to not get cursed. So I could zap and then dual cast, then snap. Also could have just go for the eyes. Don't want to do that. That would be bad. May have gotten cursed. And there's defrag plus to get doubled, so now we're very comfortable. Again, didn't play Beam Cell first. Whoops. But the first couple of claws aren't doing a whole lot anyway, of course. This is probably like 5 damage or something. Yeah, I could hit no attacks, so I draw first. Group attack. Keep going. The algorithm. Would have liked to save it for the double from Echo Form, but not going to be too greedy. You want to double that zap, definitely. Lightning orbs can be good. Playing this fight just fine. And double playing that one, so that was correct order. Claw first, so it doubles. And Seek is here, that's very cool. Put our heat sinks in play, and then Seek for whatever power we desire. And no power seer, sadly, but fortunately we are not getting attacked. It's a good thing that we're getting 3 burns in our, or 5 burns into our deck. And ouch. Gotta play that Echo Form because it draws 2 cards. All for 1 for the chill? Wow. And even for the go for the eyes as well. Not worrying about Beam Cell here because it's, of course, intangible. Then we managed to full block that turn, which is pretty nice. And Echo Form's here, so can don't play the defrag. Now we're good. Play the zap. I keep forgetting about zap for some reason. Definitely should have played the zap. And I mean, it's not like that decision is strictly always bad. Definitely could be the case that you don't want a lightning orb involved when you're making a million frost orbs, taking up a slot. But in this case, we're blocking for so much that definitely can get away with playing lightning orb and doing some supplemental damage. I was just committed to the bit, I guess. Our damage is Claw. The boot is getting in there right now. Scared of playing Biased Cog, or just I don't need it, so I don't play it. Probably Compile Driver first. Nope. Double the 0 cost attack first. Albeit questionable. Looks like we got there. Algorithm's still in there. I try to draw for it. Should have played it sometime this fight, so another mistake. definitely should have played at some point. And Cool Headed is here. Just a solid draw, block, guard, makes Frost Orb very good. Himself first, huge. Could play Algorithm just to play it. I think last time I realized, like, I was just thinking about it. I still don't play it. Of course, technically it's right to not play it because Echo Form would let me double it later. But that's assuming I remember to do so. And it's assuming I don't kill the enemies before that happens. Electrodynamics is here. Looks really good, but I would rather make energy or focus and try to block. It's so beautiful every time you get that huge draw with our all for one. It looks so nice. Now we're just hunting for Algorithm again. I pass. I have Loop, but it's not dead. Big. Can't find it. So yeah, punished again for not playing it. Skim could find Turbo and it. I don't have a way to make energy though. Could have seeked for it there. And another Turbo is here. That's really good. Of course. Maybe I skip this one? I do. Okay, so I decided I have enough energy, it seems. Past me, fair enough. And there's a power, huge. Like fizzling out there. Finally just play it. A wise decision. This giant head is in peril, by the way. Seek for Echo Form, probably. Remember the zap existed this time. Very nice. Double the capacitor is so over. Oh my god, this giant head is so insanely dead. Echo Form on capacitor plus is like, when you can do it and not die, it feels so good. That's like the dopamine hit for Defect, I think. I'll like Compile Driver first, yeah. Draw two extra cards. Big turn. And actually a little bit weird, oh, we didn't play like Otter defrags. So actually taking a bit of damage here. It was on purpose to proc Centennial Puzzle, obviously. Still no focus. Can double play Glacier though, this time. Probably passing the Echo Form. So if I had, you know, 8 Frost Orbs instead of 4. Frost Orbs that are blocking for 8 instead of 4, rather. Then definitely could have, like the Echo Form there. But even with only 1 defrag plus in play here, blocking for quite a lot. And I choose to just pass there because I'm going to have this defrag plus coming up here to get doubled. And now it's super duper over. Our claws are scaling. We're coming online. Sending a message. Stone Calendar getting in there. And I forgot to mention Stone Calendar, apologies. I had a comments asking about relics and, you know, talking about what they do or showing what they do, etc. Past me is never staring at relics or anything, but I'm going to do my best to explain them. So bear with me. So we just find Stone Calendar. At the end of turn 7, it does 52 damage to everything. It's a lot of damage, but it'd be a bit tough for the damage to matter by turn 7, so a bit of a weak relic. And we found a Bronze Scales as well, reflecting 3 damage whenever we get attacked. Excellent against the Heart when it does the 15 multi-hit, doing 45 damage there. And then we just bought a Clockwork Souvenir at the shop, giving us 1 artifact charge at the start of each combat. One of the best relics on the Defect in particular, because Defect has such a powerful debuff to block the minus focus from Bias Cognition. So basically turning Bias Cog into just +4 or +5 focus for free, which is very, very strong. And an awkward turn 1 here, considering do I do the most damage or do I play this defrag to try to draw a turbo and then play more cards? I take a little bit of a risk there and play the defrag and get punished a bit. I wouldn't have blocked for way more if I had done just like the Cold Snap, for example, but definitely didn't work out the way I wanted it to. And now that we're through that turn, we should no longer take damage. Transient's the one fight where it's like, oof. Hitting you for so much. Doing damage on turn 1 is not exactly our jam. Our turn 1s are pretty good, but they don't involve doing a lot of damage usually. So the Transient gets in there. And now we've played our first Biased Cog for the full power. This is a killable Transient, to be sure. These claws are going to be hitting really hard soon. Good fish in here. That's a really good Kappa driver. Ooh. So many voids being thrown around. And yeah, the awkwardness of All for One coming in a bit there. If you draw the All for One before the claws, then the All for One is not really doing its thing. So if you're trying to all in on the claws and only be hitting like Beam Cell and claws with the All for One, then it can get very awkward all of a sudden. Definitely want other good 0-cost cards in there. I don't have Echo Form in play. I think I lost it on turn 1. If I managed to play Echo Form in this fight, it would be really, really easy to kill, probably. It's already dead. Another capacitor, or Faster Than Light Plus is here. Faster Than Light, or FTL, is a little bit not as good as it would seem with this sort of deck. It's the whole, if you played 4 or less cards this turn thing. The second time you get it back, it's just basically a 0-cost attack that only does damage. And better to get back the other better cards, I would say. So, possibly a bit strange. And I would have taken it over skipping, but there was a capacitor there. So, is what it is. Cold Snap would have actually blocked for less there, because it would have evoked a Frost Orb, giving me 5 block, and then Auric Alchemy wouldn't work. So therefore, -1 total block. Not a mistake. Pretty awkward. Don't have any Frost Orbs. was hoping to find more turbo there, I guess. Making a case for taking that third turbo that I skipped. Being correct. I could have drawn here and then played the claw after reshuffling, and then played all for one to get it, or siege for the all for one, then play all for one to get it back. But I reshuffled after playing the claw, so it's now back in my draw pile and I can't get it back. If my main goal was to play claws, then that's a mistake. Or Darklings, man. They did hit me though, right? Yeah. Puzzle is procced. So something like a self-repair would have really sealed the deal on this run, but we never found one so far. And, you know, there's a little bit of chip damage we take here and there could matter if we happen to hit a stinky draw. Then could be a bit awkward. Considered another Meteor Strike plus here, but I don't think this is the time for a Meteor Strike. Costing quite a lot. Take the key, of course. And Heatsink's Echo Form is a good turn one, but no way to proc this, or evoke this orb. So I actually draw and let it go. Very tough. I blocked for 2 more, it seems, by doing that. In hindsight, I would have played the Echo Form. Only a defrag regular one in my hand here, so this turn, yet again, a little bit awkward. Donu Deka are not messing around. Glacier does block for more than defrag here, I think. But I could also cool-headed and then defrag. There's some math to be done here. Defrag would have become 6 with the Orc Alchem plus 16 plus 3. It actually would have been more. So a mistake to not play the defrag there, actually. Defrag cool-headed would have been good. But we made it through, so took some damage there, and I was pretty worried at this point because Wokebird is a 50-50 here, and this deck's playing a lot of powers, and is at 15 health, so I was definitely worried about Wokebird here. But do we even fight Wokebird? Stay tuned to find out. How could I possibly beat Wokebird with this deck, right? Inconceivable. Drawing so many voids. Oh no. Another problem with all for one. If you don't have the hand space to get the cards back, then you don't get the cards back. So much focus. And you see the creative eye is just not even getting played. It's just, like, it seems so good. Got enough block to play it. We've got Heatsinks plus in play. But it just doesn't even matter. And we have so much strength, the Shuriken is cooking, except for at this point in the fight, we have so much block that it couldn't possibly matter how long it takes for the claws to get there. Very sad. And Wokebird is here, so we have 15 health. I had to lock in here. That's a pretty good looking turn one, though. Get to play my Bias Cog, and we get to chill with 3 enemies. So that's much better. Much more comfortable. And I can go zap Cool-Headed to gain 2 energy. And then continue playing powers. There's a turbo as well, that's huge. Yeah, I think current me was right about the 3rd turbo being good. Can't really explain why I skipped it. I mean, it was not totally unreasonable, but yeah. I think it was fine, considering the Heat 6 plus sort of thing we had going on. And Passer Plus is going to give it some strength, but it's not multi-hitting us. Thank God. We'd love to play Echo Form, but might let it go yet again. At this point, though, it's totally fine to let it go. Getting quite a lot of power already. And we have Loop Plus in play. It's going to be blocking for 16 each combat. Or each turn, rather. So that's very nice. Got the weak in there. Blocking for 20. Don't sleep on Go for the Eyes. Didn't do anything here. But I could have. Fission? Sure. Pretty good fission. Showing the power of fission, to be sure. Having some very strong turns. Beam Cell was made for this deck. Don't even have to upgrade it. The 1 vulnerable is enough. When you pull it from the All for 1, of course. And it will die to my Lightning Orbs. No need to play any more cards. Forgot about Beam Cell again. Classic. Stone Calendar arguably doing something. Finally put the Creativity in play. Seek for a Claw. Or I can save it for what actually matters. If that's possible. And yeah, hitting it for 28 times 3. But it doesn't even matter. Too strong. One health. So yeah, a flawless Wokebird fight with this deck. Pretty unusual. But we had a very good turn 1. The differences in turn 1s there were very noticeable. If we had that turn 1 against Donodeka, they also would have gotten completely destroyed. And Defrag is a good upgrade, Bias Claw is a good upgrade, Capacitor is a good upgrade. Sad to skip on the Capacitor Relic there. Bias Cog on turn 1 again is huge. And this fight in particular is probably the hardest fight in the entire game for Defect. These first 3 turns are so brutal, and Defect is notoriously kind of a little bit slow to get going. So this fight can just absolutely ruin your run. That's why you need that really good turn 1 and turn 2 insurance. Things that make you stronger there are so important. block for what I can. Take 8. Double the defrag. And now we're blocking so much. So this fight's over. Definitely could have gone worse. That's for sure. In hindsight, I would turbo Glacier there. No reason not to, really. Inconsequential, but still wrong. Am I full blocking this? Sure, really. Also, notable downside of Creative AI is it puts an extra card into our hand each turn, which makes it harder to have the hand space for all of our zero cost stuff from All for One. That is an actual real thing, to be sure. Like, a lot of the time it's adding a power we're not even interested in playing. And -1 card. And what a relaxing run. No relics that care about the right number or anything like that. So we can just end the fight as we wish. And we find a gold-plated cables, which re-triggers our rightmost orb at the end of each turn, basically doubling its effect. So we'd love to have a huge frost orb on the right side. And gonna be taking some damage here. Gotta find a block card. And this is why I said earlier the loop is so important, because if every turn looked like this, you might just kill yourself. But the loop hitting the frost orb at the start of each turn, once you already have focus, can give you a lot of block, which can then allow you to play cards without taking damage. The Echo Form, of course. Considering my options. Maybe make a Frost Orb. Perhaps. So it's still a little bit sus at this point. Just a little bit. Like this turn right here. And I could have kept going, but if you leave yourself with very few cards in your draw pile on turn 2 of the heart, you may draw all statuses and just die immediately. So ideally you'll have a good amount of cards in your deck. And a huge part of not dying here was indeed the artifact charge from the Clockwork Souvenir. Not only is it good for the preventing the focus down debuff, but can prevent actual debuffs too. And so here we are getting hit for less against the heart. I actually would have full blocked even while vulnerable. But we could have gotten hit for 67 there, which would have been rather deadly. So don't want to double the bias cog, because the second one would apply the focus down debuff. Just the one is plenty, and we use our artifact pot finally. Now we're looking pretty good. And we have our loop, letting us play cards. Love to see it. Capacitor can actually be a bit dangerous against the heart under normal circumstances, because sometimes the only way you can gain block is by evoking your frost orbs, which you can't do if you have too many slots. It's definitely something to be looking out for. It is not always a good thing to have more orb slots. Only a good thing if you can fill all of them. That time it didn't actually matter because it had artifact charge. The beam cell wasn't doing anything. I definitely remember beam cell in the wrong order like a lot of the time, but I did a lot less than I thought I did, I think. Get my lightning orbs in play, just for a little extra damage. Getting hit for 75 damage. Hopefully you guys will help. But at this point, we are pretty much invincible, gaining so much block. Doing the defect thing. And claws are helping. I skim first. Nope. Huge hit. Huge hit. Look at that. Claw gets in there for the finish. Can't quite get there this turn, sadly. We've done our full damage quota. We made it through. Hour and 6. And didn't actually check the stats there, apologies. Would have loved to see the numbers on the boot. Oh wait, I do actually. Okay. Thank God. So 97 strength from Shuriken. Sounds huge, but again, did it actually matter at any point? Try to go back and figure it out. Oh, I didn't see the boot number. Come on past me, you gotta look at the boot. There it is, 259 damage. 10 damage of combat. Not too shabby. So I hope you enjoyed that claw boot-filled run of Slay the Spire. That was actually just a normal defect run with a couple claws in it, I apologize. But it was still a cool run, I had a lot of fun. Hope you did too. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, have a beautiful day.